a declassified copy of the Williams memo. And you said in an answer to a previous question that you thought things might have been handled the proper way. This agent asks that two things be done. One, that the FBI should accumulate a listing of civil aviation universities and colleges around the country and share these with the appropriate liaison. And two, that the FBI should discuss this matter with other elements of U.S. intelligence community. Neither one of those is done. Now, I agree with you. This is not the roadmap to 9/11, but it's certainly asking to do two things to New York and headquarters. Neither one of them are done. Why not?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't answer that, obviously, for the time and space reasons that are obvious. I could speculate on it, and what I would say is that, you know, the simple fact, or the apparent simple fact, of getting from all of those civil aviation schools around the United States, you know, names and identifying information of those students, first of all, you would have had to overcome a couple of federal statutes that prevent educational institutions from giving that information out without a subpoena or a grand jury request. Assuming you could have done that.
But Mr. Williams didn't do that in Phoenix, did he? I mean, he found out the trend in Phoenix without having to go around a statute or a law, right?
Well, yeah, but what he's asking for is a national investigation that would direct itself to thousands and thousands and thousands of students who are from Arab countries who are taking flight lessons in the United States.
Special agent in Phoenix who wrote the electronic cable told the joint inquiry. First became concerned about aviation-related terrorism in the early 1990s while he was investigating Libyans with suspected terrorist ties who were working for U.S. aviation companies. Possible terrorists with easy access to aircraft conjured up for the agent visions of the Pan Am Flight 103, which terrorists had blown up years before. Primary concern was that Islamic extremists studying aviation subjects ranging from security to piloting could learn how to hijack or destroy aircraft and while evading airport security. However, the agent told the joint inquiry that in writing the electronic cable, the EC, he never imagined terrorists using airplanes. That was done on September 11th as a weapon. The electronic cable focused on 10 individuals who were subjects of FBI investigations, Sunni Muslims from Kenya, Pakistan, Algeria, the United Arab Emirates, India, Saudi Arabia. Not all were in flight training. Several were aeronautical engineering students, and one was studying international aviation security. Phoenix agent testified that in April of 2000, he interviewed the primary subject of the electronic cable. In the agent's experience, young foreign nationals who are subjects of interviews tend to be somewhat intimidated in their first contact with the FBI. By contrast, the subject told the agent that he considered the U.S. government and military to be legitimate targets of Islam. The agent noticed a poster of bin Laden and another poster of a wounded Chechen Mujahideen fighter in the subject's apartment. He was also concerned that the subject, who was taking expensive aviation training, was from a poor Middle Eastern country and had not studied aviation before his arrival in the United States. The name was Zachariah Subra. The agent described to the joint inquiry another incident that increased his suspicion about Middle Eastern flight students in the Phoenix area. During a physical surveillance, the agent determined that the primary subject of the electronic cable was using a vehicle registered to another person, who, in 1999, had been detained with a third person after trying to gain access to the cockpit of a commercial airliner on a domestic flight. The two told FBI agents who questioned him they thought the cockpit was the bathroom. They accused the Bureau of racism. After an investigation, they were released and the case was closed. In November of 2000, the subject's name was added to the State Department's watch list after intelligence information was received that he may have received explosive and car bombing training in Afghanistan. In August of 2001, the same person applied for a visa to re-enter the United States, and as a result of the watch listing, was denied entry. Finally, Phoenix agents concerned about Middle Eastern flight students in Arizona was fueled by suspicion that Al Qaeda had an active presence in Arizona. Several bin Laden operatives had lived and traveled to the Phoenix area, and one of them, Wadi al-Hajj, a bin Laden lieutenant, had been convicted for his role in the 1998 East Africa embassy bombings. The agent believed that al-Hajj established a bin Laden support network in Arizona that is still in place. The electronic cable requested that FBI headquarters consider 4 recommendations. 1. Headquarters should accumulate a list of civil aviation university and colleges around the country. 2. FBI officers should establish liaison with these schools. 3. Headquarters should discuss the theories in the electronic cable with the intelligence community. And 4. Headquarters should consider seeking authority to obtain visa information on persons attending flight school